Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andrea and this is Beauty with Andy. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today is going to be my weekly Shop My Stash. So we're just going to talk about the products that I used last week and then decide if we want to keep or declutter them. So right, we'll do primers. So this is my Nivea Daily Essentials 24-hour Moisture and Express Primer. Now there isn't that much left. I think we spoke about this during the week when I used it. So I've decided to keep it in just to use it all up. And I will for sure, when the shops reopen, be buying another one of them. There's another primer in here somewhere. So this is the Sephora Smoothing Primer. And this one is Project Pan, so that's staying in. Then this is the foundation that we're working on. So this is the Bourjois Healthy Mix, and I thought it might be too dark, so I pulled in another foundation which we'll talk about in a minute. It's not too dark, guys. It works really well for my skin tone. It looks, compared to my skin tone, it looks really yellow based, but it blends out really nicely. So yeah, we'll be keeping that in until it's all used up. So the other foundation that we brought in was this PS Beauty My Perfect Colour Foundation and Contour Stick, and I used it once. Well, I used it twice in total, but the first time I used it by itself and it looked okay, and then when I used it with the Bourjois one, my face looked really matte. I don't know whether it was a mixture of the two foundations, they didn't play well together, or it might have just been the foundation and I didn't realise on the first go. So I don't know whether to keep it in, you know, because there is literally hardly any product in. Yeah, let's keep this one in as well, because there's hardly any product in. Right, what else do we have? So we've got a highlighter stick. This always stays in. And I got some products in Boots from Natural Collection, and I was going to get the highlighter stick that I used to have, but I've had to declutter just because obviously it went bad. This one is really nice, and I didn't want to buy another cream highlighter stick until this one goes. And there's tons of product left, guys, so I do need to start using this more. This one is in the shade Gold and it was from New Look. Then we've got this Rimmel Wake Me Up Concealer. I'm using it. It's in Project Pan, but I don't like it. It's not my favourite concealer I've ever used. Right, powders. Okay, so we've got the Rimmel Stay Matte. This is a favourite powder, pressed powder anyway of mine. I'd say my favourite in my collection would be my e.l.f. one, Sheer Tint Finishing Powder. This one comes a close second. This one is the Peach Glow version. It's not the translucent. I do like the translucent as well, but I love this one more. So yeah, that's that one. Right, so in this little pot here, which we've not used at all this week, is some loose powder from Revolution. I might not pull a loose powder in this week and just use this. I mean, it's more or less, I put more or less, no, it's about half full. And I'll be continuing to do that until the big pot has gone out of the collection. Oh, it smells really nice. If you're not a fan of peaches though, guys, you probably won't like it. Then we've got this number 7. Really like this. It's the translucent Perfect Light loose powder. I was just using it for under the eye area, but it can go back. Highlighter. So we've got this 0 for 1. This one is a new one and I've used it once this week, so there is no way I can put this back. I've just been like using other products. So this one is the Moon Dance. So yeah, I mean, I've shown that in other videos, so I don't need to show it again. Then we've got this H&M blush, which looks like that, and this one is in Pink Coral Pure Radiance, and looks like that. For now I'm keeping it. Then of course we've got the Hourglass blush. This one is in Luminous Flush. Used that a couple of times. I'm not going to keep it in again because it's been in 2 weeks, so we'll pop that back. We've got the Too Faced Love Flush in Love Hangover. It's Project Pan, but I've not made much progress, so I can show you. We've just worn the TF off it, so that stays in because it's Project Pan. This is also a Project Pan. It's the NARS Orgasm Blush, so that stays in. Then we've got the Too Faced Papa Don't Peach. Love using this. I only used it 2 to 3 times though, but it's just such a beautiful blush. That one can go back now. Right, bronzer. So I had this one in, but I also had my Wet n Wild contour palette and also my Chanel bronzer. So I was mixing it up. I did use it a couple of times and I do think it's okay. I'm going to keep it in for a bit longer. I'm going to take it out of the everyday makeup drawer and just put it in my collection, and then we'll try it again at a later date. Right, so I just had to put a new battery in. Story of my life. I was just saying we'll keep this for now, and yeah, I'll see how I get on with it, but it's going back in the collection. Now this one is a tricky one. So it's the Pixi by Petra. I've only used it once, and it's on the chopping block as well, so I do need to test it out a little bit more than I already have. It's a really soft formula, but I'm not too sure about the shades of the highlighter, so I'll keep that in here. Even if I don't get to use it this week, I'll just keep it in here because it's on the chopping block, and we'll see how we get on. Right, so I just had to put a new battery in. Story of my life. I was just saying we'll keep this for now, and yeah, I'll see how I get on with it, but it's going back in the collection. Now this one is a tricky one. So it's the Pixi by Petra. I've only used it once, and it's on the chopping block as well, so I do need to test it out a little bit more than I already have. It's a really soft formula, but I'm not too sure about the shades of the highlighter, so I'll keep that in here. Even if I don't get to use it this week, I'll just keep it in here because it's on the chopping block, and we'll see how we get on. Right, okay, so got quite a lot of products going back. Not that though. Or that, or them foundations, or that concealer. So not as many as I thought. So it's just these here that are going back. Right, so now we're just going to put them away, and then I'll show you. Right, so we're going to go into the acrylics now. I know what I want to use this week. Quite a few different palettes actually. So first of all, let's talk about this one. So this, well, let's get it in focus first. So this one is the Revolution Reloaded, and it's the Neutrals 2. Now everyone says this, and you can tell me what you think. Everyone says it is a dupe for the ABH Modern Renaissance. Now I watched somebody's channel and it doesn't look anything like it. I mean, it does in a way, because obviously you've got the berry shades and whatnot, but there was like a cool toned lavender shade in the palette that I saw, where she was panning that actual palette. I'm going to need to look into the palette in a little bit more detail, but from what I can see, it doesn't look too similar to it. But yeah, I'll look into it, and then you might disagree with me. At first I thought it was a dupe for it, but now I'm thinking it's not. So yeah, I'd love to know your comments on that if you've got that Modern Renaissance palette. Right, so we've got this Morphe and Jaclyn Hill one, and I absolutely loved playing with this. I've done a is it a dupe video between this one and some particular shades in this palette, and some particular shades in the one from Urban Decay Naked Honey. So that'll be coming up on the channel soon, and it just looks like that. I mean, how beautiful is that palette, guys? Especially this shade here, Coin, and I love all like the mustard shades, and that green tone shade is good as well. So I'm going to keep it in. I just want to do one or two final looks with it. And also this smoke palette, I want to keep in for an extra couple of days. but we're still going to be pulling palettes out, guys. So that's the Urban Decay Smoked. And I've used this quite a bit, and I didn't know whether I was going to be decluttering it, I've got to be honest. I've had it for a hot second. It was probably one of my first, it was my first high-end palette that I bought actually, because I was torn between this one and Naked, but this one was so much cheaper at the time because I got it in the sale. So I thought, well, why not try the formula? If you don't like the formula of the Urban Decay eyeshadows, then it's pointless paying, what, £42 for Urban Decay Naked. And I actually prefer this palette, guys. I'll tell you why. It's the pans. You know, I keep mentioning the pans, and I'm probably doing your head in. I'm doing my own head in talking about the pans. I prefer them to be square rather than oblong. I just don't like the way the pans are in the Urban Decay Naked palettes. What are your guys' thoughts? Are you bothered about it or not? I think for me, I'm a little bit OCD about it. It's about getting the brush in and like getting your finger to apply the eyeshadow on. I wouldn't say my fingers are that chunky, but they are a little bit chunky, and in here I would be able to quite easily put my fingers in the eyeshadows, and I can get a really good brush in there as well. Anyway, I'll tell you what eyeshadows I've used out of here. So I've used Kinky, I've used Freestyle, so Kinky, Freestyle, and then this Evidence shade I used yesterday. Backdoor just in the outer V, and I used that to go to the doctor's. Quite dramatic, I know. I've actually filmed a look with it. That's probably going to be on the channel in the next couple of weeks. And I've also used all those same mattes with this shade here, Loaded. Oh my gosh, guys, it's such a pretty green. And then I want to try Barlust. I remember really liking that when I first got the palette, because I used to stick to that shade. Yeah, I remember really liking Barlust and really liking Mushroom, so I want to try those two shades out, but I don't think I've ever used Rockstar. So basically, I want to do like 3 different looks with this palette, and also I want to use the Jaclyn Hill palette. And then I was going to pull one of my Morphe bigger palettes, but I think with all that we're using there, I just feel like it's going to be too much. So what I'm going to do instead is pull smaller palettes. I've got a small palette that I got the other day in the mail, and I've done a look with this, but it's not on the channel yet. This is my first ever, guys, Pat McGrath Labs eyeshadow palette, and I've got a whole story time about this, about customer service and whatnot as well. I'm hoping it's not too negative, but if you haven't shopped on patmcgrath.com before, I just wanted to give you my opinion on my first ever time in doing so, and also my first impression really on the palette. So there's 2 separate videos going up about this palette. But guys, these eyeshadows are just super pretty. I mean, just look at them. You only get 5 and they are only small, but the textures of the eyeshadows are really, really nice. So far I have only used, I think I only used 2 of them, either 2 of them or 3 of them. So I do want to be playing around with this a little bit more this week. So let's put that there. So far we're only putting 1 eyeshadow palette back, and I think I'm going to pull a face palette as well from Decca Scarlet, because what I need to be doing, I've just finished, this was the last one of the Revolution Reloaded palette, so I've done a least favourite to favourite, again we'll go up in a few weeks time, of those Revolution Reloaded palettes. So now I want to start on Decca Scarlet ones, and if I can declutter any I will. But first, let's go into my top drawer. Right, so as usual, foundations, primers, bronzers, like palettes here, strobing creams here, which I'm going to definitely pull a strobing cream because I didn't do that last time. and powders there as well. I cannot get any more powders, guys. These two sections are full of powders. That won't even fit in. Those two won't fit in, so they're resting on top. This one won't fit anywhere. That's why I'm not even... I need to show you a little bit better than what I'm showing you. Sorry. Yeah, so basically all the powders won't fit in. This one is the biggest one, so this one needs to actually, I don't know, I need to get rid of the tub and obviously keep filling that other tub in that's in the drawer. So for now I'm not going to get any powders unless I declutter some, which I don't really want to declutter any, just because I find that wasteful. I do want the e.l.f. Halo powder. I've heard great reviews about that, but for now I'm not going to because I just don't have anywhere to put it, guys. Right, so strobing creams. Let's pull the PS Beauty one out. I think I'm just going to take this camera back a little bit. Is that better? That might be better. I'm not 100% sure though because I don't have my glasses on. Right, so what am I doing in terms of bronzer? I don't know. Right, let me just go down here. See, part of me wanted to pull this out. This Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. It was in Project Pan last year, if you remember. If you've watched any of those videos, I'll link them if you haven't, and you can go and check them out. So I did really well on this bronzer, and yeah, I mean, I had to repress it, so I do want to, you know, finish that off. The highlighter I've just hit pan on, so let's pull that. I mean, I know we've got other bronzers. I've not even showed you the other two drawers here. I'm getting way carried away. We'll do that last. We'll go in a different order today. So let's just put these on the vanities out of the way. Right, so don't know what I'm using for like blusher and stuff. Actually, does this have a blushing? So first up is this one. I think if anything, out of the whole entire Deck of Scarlet range I've got, I think I've got about 7 or 8 palettes of these. So we're going to be pulling one a week. I think this is the one that I'm going to be able to declutter. For a start, I don't like purples, and it's like a purple and mauve toned palette. I don't like this blush, so I wouldn't use that as a blush. The highlighter is too dark and has got glitters in. The only shade I like is this here. So I could actually, like with the eyeshadows from Deck of Scarlet, I could actually just kind of like, if I like them a lot, maybe put them in a, like that's the peach, which is really nice. Maybe put them in a magnetic palette. So let's pull that, guys. We're going to need blushes though, because I don't like that blush. And I don't really like the highlighter, but that's fine. We'll pull some highlighters. I've got another new one to pull anyway. So the highlighter is this one from Doll Beauty. So the highlighter is this one from Doll Beauty, and it's Doll Light, like a diamond. And I have actually done a video, first impressions demo, talking about this, which will go up really, really soon. But obviously you're going to see this Shop My Stash first. But yeah, we're going to pull that one. What else? This is also a fairly new one, so we may as well pull that one as well. We've got the Ofra one, so that'll be more than enough for a week. This one is in Blossom Glow. Right, blushes is where it gets tricky. Maybe this Essence one. Peach Me Up. It's that time, like spring, summertime, where I would love to wear peach. I do wear peach all year round anyway, because that's just my type of blush. Oh yes, these ones. Anastasia blush trio in Peachy Love. Love all of these. So yeah, we'll use these ones as well. That's enough blush then. And I think that's it. I think that's it, because I don't really want to pull any more palettes out, because I've pulled like, maybe, I don't know, maybe we could pull a small one instead of the Morphe one, just in case I get bored of them too and don't want to use the shades that I think I'm going to use. So let's see what we've got. I feel like I want to use this one again. Yeah. I don't know if there's a video on the channel regarding this Free Lux One palette. I know I filmed one, but I don't know whether I took it down. Sometimes I take videos down if I'm not happy with the quality. So this is a dupe for the Natasha. This is the dupe for the Natasha Denona Gold palette, and you'll see when I open it up if you've got that palette. You don't even have to have the palette to know that it's a dupe. That's what it looks like. Real pretty palette. It's by the brand W7. I got this for £5. Really want the. I really want the Natasha Denona one though, guys. But yeah, for now, obviously this will have to do. And it will also make me wonder, like, before I start spending over £100 on an eyeshadow palette, it will make me see if I will get used out of that Natasha Denona one if it's in my collection. See how many times I use this, see if I use the shades up. Because obviously if you're going to be paying, I don't know how much it is, whether it's 115 or 125, but it's definitely over the £100 mark. And I don't feel comfortable paying that much for an eyeshadow palette. So yeah, this is a good one. If you want that particular eyeshadow palette. I mean, this is the only one that I've seen a brand as close. I mean, it looks really close to the Natasha Denona Gold palette. But yeah, so we'll pull that one as well. So that's more than enough palettes for the week. Right, so middle drawer, yeah. The Wet n Wild contouring palette. Can't even see it, can you? Let's move you back again. The Wet n Wild contouring palette. I don't know whether to leave that out. I know we've got that bronzer by Charlotte Tilbury. We'll leave it in. I don't know if I'm going to use it though. That should be in my everyday makeup drawer. It's actually Project Pan. Yeah, that's Project Pan. It needs to go in the everyday makeup drawer. Right, so we've got the Revolution and Imagination Highlight to the Moon palette. Recently done a video, an update on my Project Pan items, so you'll get to see that soon if it's not already on the channel. And then in here, oh, this is going to stay in for another week. I absolutely love this for a setting powder. Well, for a finishing powder, it's the Wet n Wild Colour Icon in Reserve Your Cabana. It's the one everyone talks about. So that's that one. Right, guys, so I've made a decision on this palette. I might keep it in for another week. So this one, do you remember me saying, oh, I don't like the formula, it doesn't feel creamy, it doesn't feel buttery, basically whinging about it, and I know I was whinging a little bit, but I didn't like it, you know, I didn't like how it felt like when I was doing the swatches, but it's obviously different when it goes on your face. Let me open it. I've been using it a couple of times this week. The first time I used it, I just went in with Star Island, which is really pretty. Again, it's not creamy, and when you compare it against the Madison Miller one, which I've also done a comparison video, which you'll get to see soon, it doesn't feel creamy. So I don't think, I think the full size version ones are a different formula to these. No one can really talk me out of that. I've made that decision. They just don't feel the same. The only one that does a little bit is this one, Blissful. So anyway, I used Star Island first, and then on the second day I was using this palette, I went in with Rodeo Drive and Pillow Talk, and them two mixed together, OMG, they're so good. I'm not going to get rid of it, I'm just going to use it up, and I'll never order this palette again. I think it's really good if you want to try the formula and how the highlighters are on the skin, but the formula isn't the same anyway. So what I would say, if you wanted to try an over highlighter, I would say don't get this palette and just choose a full size, invest in a full size. So whichever one you like. If you're fair skinned, I would say get Star Island. If you're more on the deeper skin tone, maybe Blissful or Rodeo Drive, and just build your collection up like that. You know, if you like a creamy highlighter, that is. If you're not bothered, get this palette. I mean, you get 5 of the iconic highlighters. I was going to try and sell it on Depop, but I've decided to keep it, and I'm going to keep it in here. If I don't use it this week, I'll use it next week. So yeah, we'll keep it there. Oh, it wasn't in. We'll just leave it there. Right, what else? All this is Project Pan, so this needs to go up here as well. Right, and I have been using this. I've been trying to get as much use out of this because it is a cream product and it will eventually go bad. So it's the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel, and for so long I couldn't get this to work for my skin tone. You know, I'm just so fair, and this, I've said this in so many videos, this is so orange toned. But I'm finally getting it to work for me by using a really big fluffy brush. I'm just not like putting that much on. So yeah, I want to keep using it, and hopefully one day we'll pan it and we'll feel some satisfaction on the fact that I spent so much money on it, and yeah, that will be that. So anyway, let's put everything back now. Right, so we're back in my everyday makeup drawer, so we're just going to put all these products back here. Well, not back, all these products in for the upcoming week. So let's do that. This, guys, is super pretty. I'm going to show you what it looks like because you're not going to get to see it for a while. That's the packaging, real pretty, and then this is the highlighter. OMG, it's so pretty. So pretty. So I can't wait to use that. Right, so right, that's it for this drawer. It's a good job really because nothing else will fit in. So yeah, that's that. I've just got a couple more products to put into my acrylics, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronzing Glow. And this has to go with the palettes. The other palettes are over there. So let's head on over there. Right, I really don't know how this is all going to fit in. So let's just put them there for a minute. It's a bit of a mess. Right, so the Too Faced chocolate bar has to stay in without a shadow of a doubt because that's Project Pan. We can pull that out for a second. I think the smoked is going to get stuck. Right, we'll just leave that on the vanity. Right, because this was Project Pan originally, so what we're going to do is put it in here. Don't think that one's going to fit in either. Let's try it. See, I don't want it getting stuck. I'm not going to be using that this week, so I'm going to put that with the eyeshadow palettes. Right guys, so that's it. So we put it all away. The majority of the palettes are in here. So we've got the Jaclyn Hill, the Deck of Scarlet, that's with Babs Beauty. The Too Faced chocolate bar for Project Pan. Pat McGrath Labs, the W724K Gold Rush. Did I tell you the name of this? It's Sublime, by the way. So that's that one. And then obviously we've got the Smoked by Urban Decay on the Vanity. I might use that today instead of the Jaclyn Hill one. So if I just leave it out until I've used all the shades, then we can just put it away, instead of like leaving it looking untidy. Right guys, so yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching my Shop My Stash.